On this part, we're going to talk about what happens when the Iranian people attempt to right those wrongs. We're doing a series called How the Did We Get Here? So in the last episode, we talked about how the Anglo-Iranian oil company screwed Iranian people. So in part 2, we're going to talk about how Iran almost had it right before we royally got f***ed. Here we go. Iran has been screwed by the British Petroleum Anglo-Iranian oil company for literally 40 plus years. Mosaddegh, along with his party, the National Front, rose to popularity in 1951, 52, and 53. Okay, so let's rewind. Starting in 1908, the Anglo-Iranian Oil Company, known as BP, has been controlling a majority stake in oil production and drilling in Iran. So the deal was, as true capitalists, we invest in the infrastructure and we finance it, and we split 51-49. But somehow, they were making so much more money than the Iranian people and the Iranian government. So the British had gotten real used to these heavy-duty profits and margins that they were making on Iranian oil, and they were not so excited about Mosaddegh coming in and auditing and questioning how they were making money and why Iranian people were not getting a bigger stake of the pie. Around the same time, the United States empowered the CIA, the intelligence, to start to operate worldwide, putting in place procedures and personnel to do things. You can decide what those things are, but they're basically things that are outside standard government practices, whatever that means. So, Winston Churchill goes to his friends in the United States government and says, hey, I would love for you to use your new Swiss Army knife called the CIA to help me with my problem of getting rid of this annoying prime minister in Iran that's trying to defunct my good British Petroleum oil deal. The United States government, the CIA and MI6 launched this project AJAX, Operation Get Rid of Mosaddegh, to basically get him out of power because he was being accused of being a communist, betrayed his own people, but more importantly, he was being a big pain in the ass about this national oil deal. They used propaganda, media, launched coups, hired people to protest against him in the streets, and essentially created a fake revolution against him. So this operation is so twisted that they were actually paying for groups on the ground in Iran to not just protest against him, but to protest for him and for him violently so that the king of Iran, the Shah of Iran, would then have him and his supporters arrested. That's so dark. United States taxpayers paid for that, by the way. So because of all of that, the Shah of Iran put him on trial, found him guilty of treason, and basically put him in house arrest for the rest of his life. So this was a huge success for the United States government and the British because they essentially had just created a huge outcome without any military operations or expenditures, and they did it all through intelligence. So after this, we then saw the same plan go off in Guatemala 54, Congo 60, Indonesia 65, and on and on and on. And then Chile in 1973. So starting in the Clinton era, the US government starts to periodically, multiple times, apologize for their role in the coup. Apologies or not, the Iranian people are still reeling with the impact of Western intervention in their politics. Stay tuned for part 3, where we talk about what the Shah did next.